Round 5 of the UAE National Race Day series saw the action taking place at the Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. With the Motor City UAE sport bikes taking a well-earned rest, just 2 championships were on the bill this weekend. The Total UAE Touring Cars and the NGK UAE GT Championship. Also on the bill as support racers was the UAE Radical Cup and the FG1000 Single-Seater Championship. And first out on track were the Total UAE Touring Cars. With Ramzi Moutran's Seat unable to start after suffering technical problems, the Class 1 race was a 3-way battle between the current championship leader, Nadir Zahour, veteran Kostas Papantonis, and previous touring car champion Mohamed Alouais. And as the lights went out, it was Alouais who got away first ahead of Zahour and Papantonis. And this is how it stayed until midway through the race, when the Greek driver managed to get past Zahour and move into second place. From here, it wasn't long before he was challenging Alouais for the lead, with Papantonis finally getting his reward and moving into top spot. Behind the leaders, and unfortunately for Zahour, a spin saw him drop out of contention. The Jordanian still managed to grab third place. Meanwhile, Alouais was trying to wrestle first place from Kostas Papantonis. Try as he might, he just couldn't get past. And so at the checkered flag, it was Papantonis who took the win, just ahead of Alouais in second. Further down the field in Class 2 saw the top 3 championship drivers, Aslan Muller, Amir Khan and Rupesh Chanaki, thrashing it out between them. But it was Khan who seemed to have the upper hand, with the Yas Marina Circuit obviously suiting his Honda Civic. As a result, it was Khan who came home with an easy win, ahead of a good scrap between Aslan Muller in second and Rupesh Chanaki in third. Meanwhile, in the Renault Clio Cup, it was Alexandros Anivas who took the win in race 1, ahead of Nabil Moutran in second and Willie Morrison in third.
He made a small mistake, which I took advantage and passed him on the last lap, and that led me on the top step. That's the good thing with single-make series and even cars.
On to race 2, where there was just as much action. Only this time, Nadir Zahour wasn't going to make the same mistake as in race 1. And right from the lights, Zahour took advantage of a poor start from Kostas Papantonis to move into second place. Just ahead of him, and Mohamed Alouais also got off to a great start to take an early lead. Zahour put up a brave challenge throughout the 10-lap race, but just couldn't find a way past the Emirates Racing Team Seat. And so at the checkered flag, it was Alouais who took the win, closely followed by Zahour in second and Papantonis in third. Class 2 saw a virtual carbon copy of race 1, with last year's champion Amir Khan pulling off a double win on the day. He was closely followed across the line by Aslan Muller in second and Rupesh Chanaki in third. Elsewhere in the Clio Cup, drivers also produced an identical result as race 1. With Alexandros Anivas finishing first, followed by Nabil Moutran second and Willie Morrison third. Meanwhile, despite the action in the touring cars, top billing of the day went to the NGK UAE GT series. And despite a lighter grid than normal, they didn't disappoint. As the lights went out, it was the red GTA class Ferrari 458 Italia with Rob Barth at the wheel who took the lead. Just behind him was the number 6 Gulf First Lamborghini, driven by Stuart Hall. And chasing the top 2 was the second Lamborghini, being driven by Frederick Fatian. As the race progressed, it was the Ferrari that pulled out a comfortable lead. But all that was about to change at the pit stops, with the number 888 car receiving time penalties for previous race victories. When it eventually returned to the track with Leon Price driving, it was in second place behind Stuart Hall's Lamborghini. And with Fabian Giro now rapidly closing in and looking for a Lamborghini 1-2 podium finish. But as the clock ticked down to the final few seconds of the hour-long race, Giro just couldn't make the time on the Ferrari, and they completed the 30-lap total distance just a half a second apart. So for the first time this season, the Ferrari had to concede victory to the number 6 Lamborghini of Stuart Hall, with the French pairing of Frederick Fatian and Fabian Giro rounding out the GTA class in third spot.
I think without the Ferrari's penalty, we still would have beaten it. Yes, it does have a little bit more pace than us at the moment, but you know, pace doesn't always win.
Meanwhile, in the GTC class, John Iosifidis and Youssef Basil in their Aston Martin GT4 sealed victory and added more valuable points to their championship tally.
We were looking forward to quote the Aston Martin slugfest that was meant to happen, but it didn't. A win's a win.
Elsewhere in the UAE Radical Cup fielded a grid of 10 cars for their 2 45-minute endurance races. Race 1 was won by Tony Wells and James Littlejohn, just ahead of Jordan Grogor and Khalid Al Mudaf in second. Sean Stevens and Tariq El Gamal came in third. And finally, the 2 FG1000 races saw 2 identical podiums, with Lebanese driver Joe Ghanem taking both wins on the day, with Emirati Mohammed Al Mutawa in second and Malaysian Natasha Sita finishing in third. The UAE National Race Day Series takes a winter break now. We'll be back again in January at the Yas Marina Circuit for more stunning wheel-to-wheel action.